you should have a white light in the front and a blinking red light in the back. Bicyclists should be riding with the flow of the traffic. People who are walking should be walking against traffic if there's not a sidewalk. If there's a sidewalk, pedestrians should be walking on the sidewalk. If you're a bicyclist, you really should not be riding on the sidewalk because people are walking on the sidewalk. What do you do if a bicyclist is in the way and you need to pull over? You go ahead of them or you go behind them, V. Either you go ahead of the bicyclist and look in your mirror and gradually slow down, or you pull in behind them. So it's either you're going to go ahead of them or you're going to go behind them. I like the question. Bicyclists are allowed to use the main road. Thank you. How to pass a bicyclist. You want to give them at least 3 feet. You want to give them room. You don't want to like sideswipe them and scare them and knock them off the road. Can bicyclists go on the road despite having, if there's a bike lane, a designated bike lane, they should be riding in that designated bike lane. If you hit a bicyclist, the question is, where did you hit them? If you hit them making a turn, it's more likely your fault. If you're making a right turn and you don't look, it's called the right hook. If you don't look to the right when you make your turn, you're making a right turn, you're literally going to run them over. If you're making a left turn and you don't look, it's called the left cross. Okay? So, number one, people have video cameras. Number two, if you hit a bicyclist, the rights are more in their favor than your favor because bicyclists are vulnerable and people are sue happy. So you're probably going to get sued. And if you go over 40 miles an hour, it's probably going to be a fatality. If you go under 40 miles an hour, you're talking about broken bones. If you go under 10, you're talking about bumps and bruises. So you really want to be mindful in downtown areas, downtown Detroit, downtown Chicago, downtown Houston, Texas, any downtown area, you're going to have more bicyclists. Okay, questions about pedestrians, please put your questions in. Questions about pedestrians. And then I'm going to read some information. So there's a U.S. bike route system. It's part of the national network for bike routes that connect urban and rural areas. A lot of people love riding bikes. So you really got to be mindful. And bike riders should have helmets on. They should have the white light in the front, the red flashing light in the back. They should be wearing a helmet. Okay. There are bicycle maps where bicyclists should be riding. There are more points of interest. This more enjoyable. Okay. Just giving you some information. Emma. Okay, pedestrians. Are all bicyclists allowed on the main road? The answer is yes, but if they're obviously under 10, they're probably going to be riding on the sidewalk. Okay? You all learn how to ride a bike. You're going to be riding on the sidewalk. Right around 15 or 16, you're probably going to be riding on the street. Okay? What do you do if a bicyclist is in your way and you need to pull over? Oh, we already answered that. What do you do if someone is, if it's dark and someone is jaywalking? You want to try to slow down. You want to try to make sure that they see you. You might have to flash your lights. You don't want to like lay on the horn. You're going to startle them. What do you do? Do pedestrians obviously have the right of way? Most of the time, yes. If someone is jaywalking, walking not by the crosswalk, obviously they have less rights, but the laws are designed to protect pedestrians. Pedestrians should be walking against traffic. It should be walking. It should be walking toward traffic so they can be seen. You should never turn your back. Let's pretend there's construction, and there's construction on the sidewalk, then pedestrians are going to have to walk on the side of the road. Sometimes pedestrians pretend they're at fault. They jump up in front of you and get paid. Okay. You have to be really careful. They are pedestrians that do that. They are people that will take advantage. There are people that will pretend you crashed into them and sue you. So in that case, if you are in a sketchy area, you got to go slow. You should have a dash cam. If you see a situation like that, you might have to have your friend, hey, get on the phone, video this. This person's about to jump out. So you have to protect your own interests. Real talk. You really do. They do try to lie. Did you know that not crossing at the intersection is the deadliest action pedestrians can take prior to a crash? Please listen to this. This accounts for 34% of pedestrian fatalities. So pedestrians do make mistakes, and 34% of pedestrian fatalities happen because pedestrians are walking in the wrong area. And it depends on how fast you're going. It depends on what you're doing. Yes, we do get tired of people with their phone out. If there's a roadside emergency, broken down, or involved in a crash, call for help, stay in your vehicle, okay? And if you really must exit the vehicle, do so very carefully. Let's keep going. Let's talk about work zones. What questions do you have about work zones? Work zones. Work zones. Yes, we all love to drive, but you got to deal with bicyclists. You got to deal with pedestrians. You have to deal with work zones. You have to deal with crashes, not accidents. You have to deal with bad weather. You have to deal with traffic signals, left turns, roundabouts, road signs, rumble strips, 6-inch wide pavement markings. I'm going over it all. Flex routes, interchanges, speed limits. It's a lot. There are a lot of accidents around roundabouts. So put in questions about work zones, work zones, work zones. Can a pedestrian cross at the crosswalk when there are a few cars around the intersection? A pedestrian should go up. They should activate the signal. Wait for their light to come on to say walk, look left. All of you guys know how to walk across the street. Your parents taught you this. They still teach you how to look and walk across the street. You look left and right. When it's clear, you walk across. And those of you who have little brothers and sisters, you better be teaching them. Okay? You have to activate that pedestrian walk sign. And when your light turns on, you better look left and right because people aren't paying attention. And they still will run you over, almost hit you, even when the light is your favor, because people are on the phone, they're eating, they're doing dashboard dining, they're personal grooming. I see some more questions. Is there any punishment for not? You could get a ticket in heavy downtown areas. You could get a ticket. If a lot of people are jaywalking and there's been a lot of accidents, police officer may be there and start handing out tickets. What if someone walks in front of you and you can't brake in time? Sideswipe, reduce speed. You want to remember, if you're going over 20 miles an hour, it's probably going to be a broken leg. If you're going over 30 or 40, they're probably going to die. So you want to try to reduce your speed as much as possible. Now, if someone just walks out in front of you, that's a whole nother story. They'll be able to reconstruct the crash scene, look at it, and say, hey, this driver did try to stop. They dragged a person 35 feet, 40 feet, 50 feet. So if there's skid marks, this meant you hit the brakes. So they do reconstruct accidents. If the light is green, but the pedestrian, if the light's green and the pedestrian is still in the crosswalk, They have a right to finish. Older people, younger kids, people who have disabilities, they take time to walk. So if they're in the middle of the intersection and your light turns green, you need to let them cross. What's a good name for a pet rock? Mine is Jack. I'm reading the questions. What if a pedestrian walks into oncoming traffic? They're going to get hit. You should always be looking ahead. And if you see someone walk in front of oncoming traffic, honk your horn, change lanes, check your mirror, get out of the way of a bigger accident. Maybe they have headphones on. Maybe they're not paying attention. So you want to be that defensive driver, always. No one should ever catch you off guard, like never. That's like, what do you do when someone takes your phone? You don't let them take your phone. You step aside. You turn away. You never let a random come up on you. Do they always post the speed limit in work zones? Yes. It's 45 unless otherwise posted. It could be 35 because they're doing a lot of work. It could be 25. But remember, if they're working on an expressway, they're going to have it at 45. They're not going to artificially drop it down to 40 or 35 unless it's a really important project, because then it becomes a hazard. Good question, Landon. What do you do if the road is closed and you don't know where to go? Let's refocus. You should always be looking ahead. If the road is closed, you're going to have to do a U-turn. You're going to have to reverse your direction. You're going to have to do a 3-point turnaround. You're going to stop. You're going to back up, turn your wheel to the right. You're going to put it in a drive and go the opposite way. Either you're going to do a U-turn or you're going to do a 3-point turnaround. You always should be looking ahead for a road closed. Do not enter. You always have to look ahead. What is the normal speed? 45 miles an hour. If there's no sign, 45 miles an hour. How dangerous are work zones? People die every day. People get ran over. Let's take a look. Understand, traveling through a work zone can be frustrating. We want you to know that we're working diligently to reduce this time. We all hate construction, but we're trying to make the bridge better, the roads better. Okay, you ask? In 2025, National Work Zone Awareness Week, National Work Zone Awareness Week, NWZAW, say that fast, is an spring campaign held to start a construction season to educate road users. You want to be educated and workers about the importance of work zone safety and encourage safe driving through work zones. Okay, so we want to educate you. Reduce your speed. Slow down. Usually law enforcement is sitting there. They're waiting. I was looking at a YouTube video today. A police officer can be driving and see you speeding from the back. They have a radar gun in the car behind them and a radar gun in front. Usually some police drive 2 or 3 or 5 over the limit because they know people are going fast. If you pass them, they know you're speeding. Some people have radar detectors, which is against the law in some states. You need to look that up based on your state. Some cars have a small area. Camaros are small, Mustangs are small, Toyotas are small. Please type in the type of car you're going to be driving. Please type in the type of car you guys are going to be driving. I'm getting some great questions. Type the year, make, and model of the car you know you're going to be driving. My daughter was driving the 2021 Jeep Limited. My son at the time, I had a Chrysler 300 because my Trailblazer SS got stolen. Okay? It got stolen. He was in middle school, getting ready to start high school. My SS Trailblazer got stolen. He was going to be driving that. Then we got the Chrysler 300. Then he drove that a little bit. Then that was the lease. Okay? So type in the type of car you're going to be driving. How large How large can work zones be? They could be 2 or 3 miles. Great question, Claire. They could be 2, 3, 4, 5 miles. It depends on how long the construction project is. Do they have to break up cement? Do they have to ground asphalt? Do they have to re-pour cement? Do they have to put steel rebar in? I love the question. And it takes time for the cement to cure. It takes time to get those materials out. It takes time to get the cement trucks there. It takes time. So this is why these ladies and men, they're putting their lives on the line for us. That's a really good question. What is dangerous about Jonah? There are people there working in orange vests. Drivers like us don't pay attention and we run them over. They're working on the edge of the road. It's our job to change a lane. It's our job to go slow. The workers are focusing on breaking cement, shoveling, working on a bridge 30 feet up and not falling, have a security belt on. So they are putting their lives on the line to make a new roundabout. Fix the terrible road that is very bumpy. Build a new bridge. So they're putting their lives on the line because they're working on a road where normally cars would be. So some people are tired. They're drifting into the barrels. Some people are speeding. They're not paying attention. Some people are falling asleep. Some people are racing and then they drift to the right and clip a couple of barrels and they hit someone. So it's very dangerous. I don't know if I would do that job, but if I had to for my family, I would. F-150, 2020 GMC Yukon, a 2022 Jeep, a Kia Forte, nice. Ford Expedition, a Honda Odyssey, those are nice. Durango, 2019, a G5, hey, a Durango 2019, love it. Toyota Highlander. How do you avoid road rage? You stay at the speed, you don't drive slow in the left lane. I love the questions. Let's keep going. Let's talk about crashes, not accidents. Put in your questions about crashes. Put in your questions. Hey, if this is bringing you value, you need to be subscribing. You need to be giving this a thumbs up. You saw my message on the community page. We're going to be starting up this podcast. We're looking for people to join. We're looking for people to participate. You got to subscribe. You got to ask really thoughtful questions. You can't just ask some random questions. Really participate in this. This is real. I'm a state certified driving instructor. Ask questions. Okay, I want to keep it moving. Crash, not accident. Crashes are fixable problems. They're caused by inattentive drivers. Driving behavior. Example, if your mom and dad drive fast, your mom and dad road rage, you might be that way. Or you might be opposite. If your mom and dad get up late and speed to work and speed to drop you off, you might say, oh, this is normal behavior. If your mom and dad get up early, fix you breakfast, you get ready, you got time to go to McDonald's or Starbucks on Friday, and then they get you to school a half an hour early, you're going to learn this behavior. So driving is learned from the first teachers. This is your family, okay? So I want to look at the comments. How should we react when we get in a crash? Number one, you want to turn on your hazards. Number two, get over to the right. Number three, make sure the person who is injured, if another person is injured, try to get them off the road. Take a picture, take a video, what time of day, where are you located? Call the police. Don't leave the scene of an accident. If you do, you will be charged. I just mentioned that, Carter. Let's pretend, Carter, I'm driving my 2025 Hellcat. It's $80,000. I crashed into you. I left the scene because I didn't have insurance. Now, that could be a felony. Now, that could be fleeing and looting the police. Instead of waiting there for the police, if you hit and run and leave, you're going to have more charges. We can already talk about how crashes are crashes and not accidents. How are some crashes not accidents? We're going to talk about that. So crashes, are you listening? Crashes are fixable problems. You're driving tired, crash. You're on your phone, crash. You are angry at your parents because they're not going to let you go to Florida. You drive the car, you're mad, you run a light, you hit someone. You shouldn't drive when you're really angry. Or your pet got hurt. Okay, if you have an animal or dog or cat, type it in. If you have a pet, put pet. Okay, we have a dog. Her name is Lola. She's a 9-year-old lab, still beautiful. When I come home, she's at the window. And I tell my wife, wait till I come out of the car. I'm looking left, I'm looking right, because she'll come out. I don't want her to get hit. If you're a pet owner, you understand that you have to protect your pet. You are their guardian, okay? That's real. So it's working on to end deadly crashes through education. Deadly crashes are ended through education. Traffic enforcement. If you're speeding, you're going to get a ticket. If you're speeding, you're going to crash into someone because you're going over the limit. Safer roads. We're looking for cars with broken headlights and taillights, cracked windshields, better care. But safety starts with all of us. Whether you drive, ride, or walk, or bike, everyone deserves to come home safely. And that's what I think about when I drive with you. As you go off the road to the right, as I tell you to go left, you go right. As I tell you to make a right, you go straight. As you run a light and I hit the brake because a truck is coming. So your parents have a responsibility to you. They have a responsibility to you. They need to teach you the right of way, the right rules. Don't run lights. Don't leave late. Stop speeding. Wear your seatbelt. We all are a community. This is a community. One simple step is to change how we think about crashes. Words matter. They shape how we act. Webster defines an accident as an unfortunate event resulting from careless or ignorance, and a crash is a break that breaks to pieces by itself. These are words that cannot mean the same. Calling a crash an accident is suggesting no one is at fault. I'll say it again. Calling a crash an accident. You rear-end someone. And in our state, if you rear-end someone, you are at fault. It's not an accident. You crashed into someone. Okay? Understand this. Calling a crash an accident suggests that no one's at fault. You made a left turn, didn't yield. You crashed into a car, or a car crashed into you. You are at fault. Traffic crashes are not accidents. Okay? Let's talk about the cable median barrier. I'm getting a lot. Don't worry, in about 10 minutes we'll do a quizzy. Cable median barrier. Please put in questions about this. I'm getting more done today than showing you individual videos for 3 to 5 minutes. Type in what a cable median barrier is. What is the purpose of it? How much does it cost? Why do some places have guardrails? How come you don't? Obviously, there could be a mechanical breakdown. If your brakes don't work, you can downshift into lower gear. You can cut your car off. You can go over to the side of the road. You can aim for something soft. We never want to have a head-on collision. Head-on collisions are the most dangerous. If you know a head-on crash is imminent, reduce your speed as much as possible. Try to hit the car from the side. Never head on. Your speed and their speed are quadrupled. I'll say it again. Your speed and their speed are quadrupled. You never want to have a head-on crash. Can it damage your car? The cables can damage your car, but I'd rather have my car damaged than hit a car head-on. I'd rather have my car damaged than have a broken collarbone. I'd rather have my car damaged and have a broken leg than to be paralyzed. So People fall asleep. You remember the video we saw last week? The girl was driving her truck. She fell asleep. She went up the embankment to the right. The truck rolled over 3 times. She crashed into the barrier to the left. The cement barrier kept her from going over on the opposite side of the expressway. Claire, I like what you're saying. Cable barriers are much cheaper than cement. The bottom is called the breezeway or open way. If cars go out of control, they go into the breezeway and then they lose speed. Let's look at the cable medium barriers. Let's look at this. How cable medium barriers work. Cable medium barriers consist of steel wire ropes mounted on posts. They are designed to prevent a vehicle from leaving the roadway and striking an object, which will create more potential dangerous situations. It functions like a catapult. It redirects vehicles. It redirects your vehicles. It's really important. And it's cheaper. Cable medium barriers save lives. A lot of states have the cables. They're cheaper than cement. And they can be rewound if a car goes off the road. Cable medium barriers are expected to save 13 lives and prevent 51 incapacitated injuries. Real talk. Let's talk about winter safety. Put in your questions. It's snowing outside. There's ice outside. We might not have school tomorrow. What's a good name for pet rock? My pet rock is named John. What's your pet rock? Put in questions about winter driving, please. It's snowing. Some of you might not have school tomorrow. In fact, some of the schools around the state are already closed. You better check to see if your school is closed. Your parents are like, oh my God, I hate that. They're going to be home. Now they're nervous. But if you have a little younger brother or sister, guess what? You're going to be the babysitter. You can't have all your friends over. We live in a cold weather region. It's snowing. How slow can you drive under the speed limit? 10, 12. It depends on the road conditions. It depends on the flow of the traffic. If it's really slick and icy, you might have to drive at 5. You might have to drive at 12. It depends on the road conditions. We have something called the basic speed law. You must drive at a speed that is safe and reasonable for the conditions on the road. What should you do if the lines on the road are covered? I love the question. You look ahead and follow the car in front of you, because we're going to have snow on the road, and you have to learn how to drive without the lines on the road. You know the guardrails to the right. We're in the United States. There's a guardrail to the right. There's a cement barrier or cable barrier to the left. If you're on a 3-lane road, there's going to be a lane to the right, a lane in the middle, and a lane to the left. You've driven with your parents when it's really bad snow. Oh, I'm sorry, you've been in the back playing with your phone and not paying attention. You got to start paying attention. You have to sit up front. You've got to really be aware. You can't have all your friends in the car. They're going to distract you. So let's look at this. Ice, snow, freezing temperatures all have an effect on how we drive. This may mean driving slower than the posted limit. This means increase your following distance. This means allowing yourself more time. Call your parents, mom and dad. Usually it takes me 20 minutes. I'm going to be an hour. There's ice on the road. The temperature will drop tonight. We're going to have accidents. This is why school may be closed. They're salting the roads right now. Bridges are elevated. They freeze. Shaded areas freeze. So when the cold wind blows, They freeze those areas and you have black ice. Love it. What tips on not sliding the road? Reduce your speed. Don't get overly aggressive in the steering wheel. Don't hit the brake real hard. Don't hit the gas real hard. Be smooth. Take your time. We talked about the bridges. What extra cautions? Leave earlier, Claire. Have a full tank of gas. Make sure you have a gallon of windshield washer solvent. Guess what? I have it here. Make sure you have a gallon of windshield washer solvent. You need to have this in your car. Extra solvent. Make sure your windshield wiper blades are good. Fix them in the fall, before the winter. Have everything you need. Have jumper cables. Let's talk about traffic signals. Put in questions about traffic signals. There's some good things on here. I'm going to show you a couple of videos in a moment, but I'm going to give you a short quizzy. Traffic signs, traffic signals. Please put in your questions about traffic signs, traffic signals. Do you guys have a pet rock? What's a good name for a pet rock? Jonathan. I still have my pet rock. Do you? Put in questions about signs and signals. Please. There's some good videos here we're going to show you, but I'm going to hit you with a quizzy in a moment. This is like everything in one. Crashes, not accidents. Cable median barrier. Winter safety driving. Traffic signs and signals. Roundabouts. Work zones. Pedestrians. Everything is here. Remember, every 8 hours, someone dies. Every 8 hours. Whether it's a crash, someone riding a bike, a pedestrian, a worker killed in a work zone, crashes, not accidents, winter driving, you run a light, you're not paying attention. I'm going to read your questions and I'm going to read this. I'm going to go back to the questions. What should you do if the fire truck comes? You go over to, if you're near the intersection, you proceed through. If you're near the intersection, you proceed through. If you have time to stop safely, you stop. If I have a blinking red light, does it mean if you have a blinking red light, you stop, you look, you check. Blinking red lights give beginning drivers problems because you panic. Blinking red means stop. Then you look, then you check. If it's clear, then you go. Love it. What the sign is covered by snow and you can't see it? You need to know the signs by their color and shape. Ignorance is no excuse. I'll say it again. You need to know a sign by its color or shape. You know what a stop sign looks like. You know what a yield sign looks like. The judge won't accept. They'll say ignorance is no excuse. Traffic signs are traffic control devices that provide direction to road users, assessing them by the right of way for pedestrians. Traffic signals optimize traffic flow. Example, you're in downtown New York, downtown Detroit, downtown Atlanta, Georgia. The lights may stay green longer to optimize traffic. On a street that doesn't have a lot of traffic, the light will stay red longer. We're using AI in Hello from America. How you doing? What's up? Make sure you subscribe. AI is being used in traffic signals to optimize traffic flow. You don't want to have to stop at every single intersection. When a car is waiting, then the light will change. If a car is not there, the main thoroughfare will stay green. Optimizes traffic flow for intersection efficiency and provide consistent rules for all road users to follow by relaying messages to what to do. Sometimes you'll see Drive slower in adverse conditions. Accident ahead. Be ready to get off at the next exit. The primary goal of a traffic signal is to move traffic efficiently and effectively. Flashing yellow lights. A flashing yellow light is a type of signal for a protected left turn. More efficient left-hand turns, and will replace a flashing red signal. So it depends on where you are. Some intersections have a flashing red, some have a flashing yellow. Studies show that this type of signal helps prevent crashes, moving more traffic through an intersection, and providing additional traffic management. High intensity activities, HAWK. HAWK signals provide safe crossing for alternatives for people walking. Bikers, traditional crosswalkers, especially mid-block locations. Downtown Atlanta, Georgia, University of Michigan, University of Texas, Utah, UCLA. In those downtown areas, you're going to have something called a HAWK. This flashes, lets bikers go by, pedestrians go by. Because these devices are only activated when walkers or bicyclists, people driving experience minimal delays, providing protection for so some of these lights have a countdown timer. 10, 9, 8, 7. You see this as a motorist, you need to start slowing down. A signal backplate. This is this yellow rectangle around the light. Traditional traffic signals get visually lost in the sky. A lot of you won't be able to see the light. Adding a black backplate and faces increase daytime visibility by 33%. In addition, this reflectanized, this border, enhances the visual ability of the light in daylight. So a lot of you will be driving over Christmas. It's going to be really bright. You won't be able to see the light because the sun is in your eyes. Countdown timers, we talked about this. Rapid flashing beacons. You're getting a lot tonight. Type in what you learned. Type in what you learned. Please and thank you. Type in what you learned. We're getting ready to do a quizzy. I'm getting ready to give you the code. Type in what you learned. Guys, this is a great session. A lot of knowledge going on. If you haven't so already, you need to subscribe. Why? I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach adults. I teach teens. We're preparing your next generation drivers. That's what you are. We're always learning. And I'm going to give you a quizzy code that you can join. And you're going to join our quiz. And it's going to be fantastic. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to get a quick quizzy together on hazardous conditions. So it's a lot of learning. And that's why you're here, right? You're here to learn. You're here to get better. And I want to get better as an instructor. You need to be joining our community. You need to be learning. You need to subscribe. When I go live, you need to join. I'll put an announcement on. We're starting up the podcast. I already have 10 episodes. We're going to get you guys on. I'm looking for the best podcast distribution service to get you guys out here, to get you ready. And I'm going to have you come on as guest. And it's really important that we all participate, that we all get better. So I'm going to give you a code. My wife does not drive a lot. You need to be subscribing. You need to join. You need to listen. All right, guys, I have a safe driving, master safe driving techniques. This is a quizzy. I'm going to give you a code. And you're getting ready to eat. I think it's 15 questions. I'm going to do a share. We're going to get ready. I want you ready. All right. JoinMyQuiz.com. JoinMyQuiz.com. The number 051697. Again, JoinMyQuiz.com. 051697. As you guys are logging in, we talked about winter driving. We talked about crashes. We talked about work zone safety. We talked about LED lights. Okay, a lot of cars do have LED lights. They're really, really bright. I have a longitudinal study. I don't want to bore you on this, but over the last 3 to 5 years, headlights are getting brighter. The thing I don't like about the driver's ed car, the headlamps are old and it doesn't put out a lot of light. So it's a little challenging at night for my drivers. This is why we want to stay on main roads. This is why we want to practice safe driving maneuvers. We want to look ahead. We don't want to look to the right. If you wear glasses, please bring your glasses. We're going to make sure the windshield is clean. We're going to make sure the headlights are clean. This will cut down on glare. We got to clean the inside glass and the outside glass. Again, joinmyquiz.com, 051697. 051697. Time is good. We're getting you structurally ready. 051697. I'm going to go ahead and start the quiz, and then you guys can still join. Okay, you're going to join myquiz.com, 051697. Again, 051697. This quizzy is about winter driving, safety. I strongly encourage all of you to take this. I don't know if any of your instructors are doing this, right? We're doing this community quiz. We're going over it. I want to help you. So, joinmyquiz.com, 051697. 15 questions, winter driving. We're going to go over it. Lock in. We're having a great session tonight. Winter driving is here. A lot of schools are going to be canceled tomorrow. Cold weather. Okay? And with one district closes, another district closes. It's difficult because little kids are standing out there at the bus stop. It's slick. The buses and these huge metropolitan cities, Manhattan, New York, Detroit, Michigan, Los Angeles, California. Those are huge school districts. Now, in California, they don't have snow, of course. In Atlanta, Georgia, they very rarely have snow. But when there is snow, they cancel everything. In Texas, my son used to play football in Texas. They have a little snow, everything shuts down. I'm in the Midwest. We got to have 8 inches, 10 inches, ice, okay? They're not just going to shut down a school district. That's the teachers, drivers, janitorial staff, custodian staff. It's a lot of people, okay? So put in your questions. I want to see you join this quiz. Join myquiz.com, 051697. We're going to go over this. Put in more questions you have. Why am I doing this? We need to build a community. What I'm planning to do, I've already looked at prices for a hosting service. Those people who really commit, and thank you, bless you too. Those people who really commit to participating and subscribe, we're going to get you on the podcast. We'll get your email. We're going to send you a link. We're going to have questions about driving, obtaining a license, cars, safety, how to buy a good car, what's a bad price, what's a good price, finance. There's so many different elements that will serve our community. And I want to serve you. I want you to feel educated because I've been there before and my car broke down and I took it to a shop. They took my motor apart. I told my friends, they were like, no, we're going to go get your car, get your motor. We're going to bring it over to the house and we're going to get your car professionally fixed because they were taking advantage of me. I'm very particular about where I take my car. You need to take it to a certified technician, someone who knows how to work on vehicles. Get 3 or 4 prices. A lot of people do get taken advantage of. And at the high school and college level, they are cutting back on automotive shop classes. They're cutting back on wood shop classes. They're cutting back on the skilled trades. I love cars. I should have went into building motors, having my own shop by now, generational wealth. But I'm happy where I am, education, driver's ed, social media. I have a passion for cars. I have a race car outside. I have 2 or 3 motors. I love speed. I have affinity for speed. I'm an enthusiast. And if I can educate one of you, then you need to subscribe. You need to lock in. You need to have your voice heard. And that's what it's all about. You need to feel comfortable in this chat. And I have admins who will remove people who are saying random stuff. I have great people. E is a very good person. Grace is from Florida. Okay, she's from California, excuse me. Jackson is from California, just to name a few. They consistently come on daily. They know me, I know them. We support each other. Okay, and it's really important that we all have a place to go and be safe and can talk. That's very important to me. And I want all of us to feel safe and feel comfortable. Looks like we're almost done. Looks like we're almost done. I'm waiting for the last person, and then it's going to stop. We're going to go over the answers. You're going to have better knowledge. We're going to be driving tonight after class. It's going to be dark outside. We're going to clean those windows, clean those headlights, fuel that car up, get out there and drive. Be safe. Learn how to steer. Learn how to look left, look right. Learn how to parallel park. Okay, it gets dark at 5:30. It's almost Christmas break. We're driving over Christmas break. Some of you will have your permit before 2026. Some of you won't because you missed days. Some of you only have 3 drives locked in. You have to have 6. I'm not going to worry about it tonight. We'll schedule more tomorrow. Some of you are a little nervous to make the commitment. Some of you have made the commitment. You have to have 6 hours of driving. And I'm going to fill my standard schedule up first. I'm going to see what I have left. Then those kids who have 3 or 4, we're going to lock you in. Okay, we have 71% classroom accuracy. Not bad. The toughest question is question 3. When driving in snow, and then the longest question, when braking, what braking technique should you do? So let's go ahead and answer. Let's view the report. Remember, other instructors don't do this. They don't have to and they don't want to. What is the recommended tread depth for winter tires to ensure optimum performance in snow? It is 8/30 seconds of an inch. 6 of you got that right. Number 2, which of the following is the key benefit for using winter tires compared to all-season tires? Improved traction. Winter tires are specially designed for colder temperatures, ice and snow. All-season tires are less. You can ride them in the winter, spring, summer, and fall. Okay? So you can't drive winter tires in the summer. They're not made for that. They will wear out faster. Some people have 2 sets of tires. If we lived in Alaska, we have winter tires because it's cold all the time. When driving in snowy conditions, what is the recommended following distance compared to dry? 3 times the distance. Some of you said the same as dry? No. Some of you said twice the distance? Not enough. Some of you said 4 the distance? Too much. You have to use process of elimination. I'm preparing you for your state test. There are going to be about 20 questions that are going to be very difficult for all of you. Some of you may fail, some of you may pass. I do test prep. Which of the following technique is most effective for maintaining control when driving on snow-covered roads? Gentle steering inputs. Please remember this tonight. Gentle steering inputs. We don't want to jerk the wheel. Some of you were doing this yesterday. Seesaw, seesaw, we will lose control. And remember, our instructor who was in the accident, a young driver and him were on the road, on the expressway. He asked the kid to make a lane change. The kid overcorrected, back and forth, back and forth. Our instructor hit the guardrail. That's scary. Please don't do that. Let's keep going. What is the primary reason for reducing speed while driving on icy roads? To increase reaction time, drive slower, have more control. Which of the following is a recommended practice when approaching a curve on an icy road? Coast through the curve, guys. Coast. You don't want to hit the gas. Coast. Lift your foot. Look where you're going. Don't look down at the line. We're going on a curvy road tonight. Next, what is the best way to handle a skid on an icy road? Steer in the direction of the skid. There are two different schools of thought. If you steer into the direction of the skid, you're going to straighten out the car. If you steer in the direction you want to go, you're going to go in a straight line. If you look at the wall, you're going to hit the wall. If you look at the gate, you're going to hit the gate. Whatever you do, lift your foot off the gas. Don't overcorrect. And we'll look at both of those tomorrow. I love the name Neptune or Hamburger. That's great. Which braking technique is recommended for vehicles without ABS on icy roads? Pump the brakes. If your car doesn't have ABS, you pump the brakes, pump the brakes, pump the brakes. Well, how do I know if my car has ABS? There'll be a symbol on the dashboard. There will be a symbol sometimes on the brake pad. Let's keep going. Time is good. What is the function of stripes in the winter winter tires? They enhance the grip. Okay. So some states allow chains, some states don't, because they'll tear up the roads. When driving on ice, why is it important to avoid cruise control? It can cause you to lose control. We don't drive with cruise control on the ice. What is the recommended action if the vehicle begins to slide on an icy road? Please listen to this. This can happen to us tonight. Remove your foot from the accelerator. Some of you said turn the wheel sharply. We crash. Some of you said shift into higher gear. We crash. Some of you said apply the brakes. We crash. If you turn the wheel sharply, you're going to spin the front end, the rear end of the car around us. If you hit the brakes, we're going to skid. If you shift into higher gear, you're going to upset the balance of the car. Please remember this. Which of the following is a common mistake drivers make when braking on ice? They slam the brakes. Don't slam. What is the purpose of using sand or kitty litter on an icy driveway? To provide traction, not melt the ice. Sand doesn't melt the ice. Kitty litter doesn't melt the ice. It doesn't prevent freezing. It will freeze. It doesn't absorb the moisture. It creates traction. So you should have a couple of bags of kitty litter in the rear of your trunk, some sandbags in the rear of your trunk to put weight over the rear end of the car. And if you get stuck, you pour it in. Which of the following should be checked regularly to ensure winter driving tire safety? Tire pressure. Not the age of the tire. Tire pressure. What is the main advantage of using studded winter tires? It enhances traction on the ice. But some states don't allow studded winter tires because they tear up the pavement. They tear up the asphalt. Type in what you learned, please, and thank you. Type in what you learned. Type in what you learned. This is another great session tonight. Subscribe. turn on bell notification, join the community, leave comments. I want to say thank you. Drive safe. We'll go live tomorrow. Bye.